It is Friday, May 6th. This is Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. I'm your host, Clutch Crypto. We got B. Wellington over here on the charts. And guess what, people? Hey, we're 4 for 4 this week. Let's make it 5 for 5. Let's dive into the charts, see what's going on.
I mean, same old, man. Let's start looking at where we're at. You know, we've had this continuation of this drop yesterday, so we're kind of in as far as overall, we're in a very critical situation relative to, there's going to be a lot of traders that come out that have went long on this trend line. Obviously, those traders have been taken out.
I don't know if they've been taken out yet, though.
Well,
Maybe they're holding on for hope.
Yeah, they still may be hanging on. I mean, we popped last week's low, got into some of these zones that we were looking at really a few weeks ago. So
that's what we should have named the show today. The TNA traders last hope.
Well, for those that are trading off of this channel, we're kind of breaking into this channel. Then we have what I would call our first, vertical, or our first support line here that I actually feel pretty good about. I think you're going to see a lot of traders that use this line here, this 26. What is that? That is
that's 25.
19. I think you'll see a lot of traders that use this line as support or somewhere in this area.
Hey,
we do have these imbalances relative to these wicks that are out here. I would imagine that they come back after those wicks. What's up? This
is before we talked, but you want to know what my TP is right now?
This guy.
20, 25, 30.
Right. I mean, look, that's where I think we're gonna see. If we get down there, I mean, the reality of the situation is, I think, spot's really been driving the show. They accumulated, especially on what was the day, Wednesday, when we had the FOMC meeting, and then that, drove up the price. I mean, that was manipulation. Next day brings back all the gains. You got folks that are coming in buying the dip, and no, una galleta real. So one of the guys. So there's a guy, right? Here's a guy here, and he moved, but he was like one of these, $5,000 coffee machine guys, So everything that he has is like really super top notch. I know I just transitioned, but she just brought me a cookie, and I was like, I don't want to eat this thing right now. It's got like 250 milligrams in it.
It's a special cookie.
And we had some last night, and they were really good.
Did you do okay on it?
Yeah, actually. But look at
for everyone that's watching the show.
Yeah, I don't do well with that.
Hey man, he doesn't. Hey, I think it's a black person thing.
It might be, dog. I don't really know.
Every black person I've ever met, I'm like, hey, you want some edibles? And they're like, oh, hell no. Nope.
Here's the other reason why, though. Here's the other reason why I would tell you.
Can we do the show?
Hold on. Most black people have sweet tooths, and we like to eat sweets. And so we get in them cookies and start chowing down those motherfuckers.
So you just eat the whole, the whole thing.
So this time, I'm nibbling on that motherfucker. All right, but look, we've broken through this trend line. We've made a lower low, obviously. We haven't taken out this vector here, which I anticipate, which is 25.75. So if we continue downward, there's really not a whole lot of relief that I see, at least on the charts here. Bookmap and High Block may tell us differently, but we're continuing to drive down. We just had the open at 8:30. It's 8:33, and look at us, we're headed to the downside even more. So I would say that, based upon kind of this reaction early in the morning, that this may be trappy relative to the shorts. So we'll just move on to some of the lower time frames. So we got the 1 hour time frame here. Again, we've been kind of jumping around this morning. We've got the daily open up at 27.40. We got the big drop. It basically ranged through Sydney and the Asian session. Open up with the EU Brinks. And what the EU Brinks brought us was a little bit to the upside, but then a steady drop down. So this was trap the action relative to the longs. Brought those down. I would imagine that the shorts begin to engage. And with that engagement, I would expect a reversal at some point in time. But we'll see. But this early downside action and kind of the Brinks box of the U.S. Open, I would imagine it's going to be a little trappy. If we look at it on the lower time frame, we kind of see a little bit more what's going on. And again, we've come down. We're taking out these wicks that are here, and it's on the 14-minute. But every time we have a wick here, it comes down. It likes to recover those wicks. So we've recovered this wick, this wick. This was a vector zone, vector candle that was out there. So we'll take that out. Had a little bit of a pump here to get up back up to the 50. Again, this is wicky as well, so we may return back into that area. I mean, we're only talking about 27, 23 to move up to. But we have not broken this low at 26.50. Well, we're about to
Here we go.
Breaking it down.
26.50s, they got a lot of orders right here, too.
Yeah, so we're headed down into that area. We've just broken that low that we've been in, so be careful. We do have this vector zone down here, like we mentioned, so 25.75 is an area of interest that has liquidity. But this early action, this early downside action does appear a little trappy. Let's look at, what's happening, just funding rate lines. Let me refresh this. So we're still pretty much mixed. I mean, there's still a good amount of folks that are neutral to this particular move, and that are buying the dip. If that continues,
here we go. Here comes the ride. The ride. 25.14 is my target. Let's go.
Hey man, can you not cheer on your bets through my analysis? You're like a cheerleader over there. You want some pom poms, everything else.
Yeah.
Hey, look, all your CBD is off, right? So everybody is in sell mode. Spot seems to be kind of dumping into perps. Perps aren't taking the dip, not too much. I mean, if you look at the futures here, or the CBD here, we could be buying the dip. Doesn't really seem like too much of it. It looks like we have a lot of selling that's going on. So this is interesting behavior. If we go to look at exo charts, we're in this value range here, which is in its V8H area. You would anticipate that we would, eventually come back up to this 28.30. This is the POC, but we're kind of in this downfall. We're matching up with the markets. It is early in the session. Look at the increase in these shorts, right? And so you've got some shorts are starting to take profit. And if this begins to build again, I would expect that they reverse price. But this is just on Bybit. This is just on one exchange. So, but I imagine that this is indicative of most of the market at this point in time. And then look, we've got longs that are flat that haven't stepped in just yet. If we look at the economic calendar here, we've got non-farm payrolls that came out. This is at 8:30. I don't know if it's going to let me read any of this. Yeah, but we gained some jobs in that. So this is actually positive news. Unemployment rate slightly up. Average hourly earnings slightly down. Labor force participation basically neutral. And then you've got a lot of speakers that are coming out as well today. So we'll look at what those comments look like. And then as far as the market is concerned,
Did you see that guy where it was like Dow drops 1,000 points and this guy's just like,
well, where is that at?
It was a picture. Maybe it was an old picture. It just updated.
An old picture. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, it increased like you say it was down 1,000 points, but it went up 900 points the day before. So it's really from a net perspective.
Whoa, that was a trap, man.
Yeah, I mean, but for it to go down 1,000 points, not like it was 1,000 points from a non-move. Early on, we've got sell-off here from the market, and so it's just I think it's May, where they say sell in May and walk away, right? That's kind of the saying, but the traditional markets
Did
are
you make that up?
no, no, I didn't. I'm not going to take credit for that. It's a very common saying.
What was it?
Sell in May and walk away. Sell in May and walk away. They've been saying that shit since March.
Uh,
But here we are. We're at the bottom. So not the bottom. I want to say the bottom because the bottom is
the bottom's way down there, man.
the bottom is
This is not financial advice. Everyone.
not financial advice. But I got a line right here, and it's a line with a line. I would expect us to hit that line with that line.
Are your lines
When you look
magic?
at it, here, it doesn't look that far, does it?
No, no. Hey, it could easily happen.
It could
Oh,
be.
hey, look, man, look. I think the stars are aligning on your lines.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the downward trend line from this continued move that we've had to the downside, and so this could be a new channel that's being created, and so I just extended this line, and when you look at it, I mean, those of you, the few of you who watch this show know that I've been pretty bearish. I'm calling for a sub, a 2,000 price on Ethereum. And this is one of the reasons, right, is because if when we start, we've had these higher lows, if you will, we're kind of running into this trend line here. And we've got this area of interest, and we've got these wicks that are out there. And so if we get into that area, it's really going to start testing. So we're going to test this level. So depending on what happens into this level, I would imagine that you get a lot of buying from that level, from this level here, that gives us a short-term pump, right? And I think ultimately, our real support is going to be
Everyone, I'm sorry for the interruption, but this is Clutch's smoking hot wife.
Jason found you.
Yeah.
What's going on? I told him he found.
We're live. We're on the show.
We're on.
You're on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Meanwhile, I just got a look. We had 2666. Is that But anyway, that's all. That's all I got.
What did she say?
It's a Friday. I don't expect much activity. I mean, we've already went to the.
Oh, man, some Fridays are a little bit more gut-wrenching than others. If you know what I'm saying.
Don't go long.
Pretty much. Can you see my screen?
I can't. You need to share it. You should be able to share it. I did.
I did.
Okay, hold on.
Can you see?
Here we go. Now I see it. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Clutch, dude.
Okay, good. Hey, this is High Block Capital, something that we look at every day. We were over here in the positive $4.4 billion range yesterday. And hey, we're completely on the opposite end of the spectrum at negative 4.3 billion in just 24 hours. So that just goes to show you how quickly it happens. And then if you pay attention to what we're doing, we're kind of the bottom end of this range. But so two things are going to happen. One, we're either going to get a nice little bounce, come back up here and start getting these short liquidations. They're big ones, and they're out on the table. 44 million up at 28.66. That's a really good area to pay attention to. The high peak that we got to 2 days ago, 29.61 that we mentioned. We did break this lower low that we were talking about on the show yesterday. And guess what happened, folks? Exactly what we expected. When we got down in that range, we continued to break down and break down even more. As you can see here, though, this gap is it's not filled in very well. So I would expect a little bit of some ranging activity today. However, I'm just going to go ahead and call it because we've been right 4 days in a row. We're going to see ultimately more downside action the rest of the day. Sliding over here to Bookmap.
What are you, a weather fucking man?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Hey,
see cloudy skies for the rest of the day.
hey, if you know what, the weathermen, they're either it's a 50-50 shot. You're either right or you're wrong. Okay, all right. This is Bookmap. As you guys can see, we flipped yesterday afternoon, right before the new daily open. We did flip from positive over to negative CVD. We've been continuously going down. As you can see, we're down in the negative 20s right now. All of our orders are down to the downside. Next critical area is going to be in the mid 2630s area, followed by 2600. Hey, and what's really important about this 2630 area, though? Let me zoom out here so everyone can see real quick. We got a lot of data, so it takes a minute. Oh man, look at that. 2500 is like the big macho guy right here this morning. But as you can see, what I wanted to point out here is we are trading right now on the very bottom of this session volume profile. So if we continue to, we break through this area and then start getting here, we're going to be extending the session volume profile. But as you can see, we're at the end of it, right? So I would expect us to maybe come down here really quickly, take out the long. So I think 2,500 is definitely in play for today or close to it. And then it's probably going to be a fast move as well. And then so they're going to probably come down into these areas, but then range in here because they got a lot of liquidations and everything that they got to fill as far as order wise goes. So I think we're going to see a sharp move followed by quite a bit of ranging, and that ranging is probably going to lead us on into the weekend as well. So that's all I got today, man. But 2,500 looks to be the spot. Will we get all the way down there? Maybe, maybe not. But I think we're going to get close.
So you think we're getting down to that 2,500?
Do what?
You think we're gonna get down to that 2,500?
Hey man, I'm my TP's at right now at 2530. So
I mean, you saying that just because your TP's down there?
No. I mean, look at the orders. I mean, it's like a magnetizing effect. Like
it has a magnetizing effect.
Price is gonna follow where the orders are. You know this.
They could spoof that.
You know this. Yeah, you're right. They absolutely could spoof it. Like you get right down into the area that we're supposed to get in, and then they just turn it off, and then that's it. But that's all we have for this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
Be careful over the weekend with your trading.
Be careful over the weekend. Correct. And I hope everyone has a great Friday and a great weekend. And we'll see you next